Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by drroto.com.
Good evening, my friends. It is In the Cup, brought to you by drroto.com, your daily prescription of fantasy sports. I am Johnny Danger, with me, Coach White and Adam White. Unrelated, I promise, unrelated.
We don't know that, actually.
As far as we know.
As far as we know.
Where are your ancestors from
now? Well, anyways, my friends, it's been a few weeks. We came on the first week of Ryder Cup, right?
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. That was you guys and I think Mark Larson.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Mark did join us. So nice. So it's been a little while. Just to get it out of the way, Al, you have been murdering CFB, college football, baby. And you have helped me spend all of my money on Sundays and building up my bankroll again on Saturdays, which I'm back to like $6. So.
Well, at least you're not depositing every Sunday, right? You're like building the bankroll. You don't have to make that extra deposit. So you can think.
That's right. So make sure you come right back here at, 10:30, 11 Saturday morning. I don't know if I'll be here with you, buddy. So we'll have to find you somebody else. Or you may have to roll solo, but the information will be here one way or the other. So make sure you go to drroto.com. Get in that private Discord. That's where the money's made. That private Discord is where it's at. So, in the cup today, my father walked downstairs right before the show and brought me a growler of beer. I believe this is Staggering Bull from Fenton Brewery and Winery, which is literally across the street. It's like a 7.5% brown ale. Really tasty. So I don't know if you guys, I think I saw you had something in the cup over there, Al.
I do. Just a little glass of red wine.
Dig it.
Staying classy tonight.
Dig it.
It's your classic boxed wine. As classy as it gets.
Beautiful. And Adam, I know that you're at work, but your work happens to be attached to a brewery. So that's usually a beer in your hand, but you look kind of serious tonight.
I look serious. Wow.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, drinking water.
Yeah,
sorry.
Pretty serious.
Yeah, well, Wolverine Brewing Company is upset with you. I thought that they had a paid membership, to have you talk about their stuff. But, hey, if you're in the Ann Arbor, Michigan area, though, you should definitely go down to Measure Golf Ann Arbor. Go check Adam out and get a free golf lesson for John, for every customer who pays Adam for a golf lesson. I need them, my friends. I need them. So far, only one lesson, and I need more.
You need a lot more. Yeah,
a lot more.
As soon as, no offense meant by that, as soon as the show starts, I thought I was supposed to just have someone bring a beer over and I start drinking it, but we haven't been here for a while, so we got to work with them on that. So they lost their rhythm. Yeah.
Anyways, my friends, PGA DFS is back for us. We're excited. We're ready. We're going to the Shriner Children's Open. What do you want to tell us about the course?
Before we go to the course, can we do 2 quick shout outs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 1, U.S. Ryder Cup team. We haven't talked. Yeah. They were, oh my God, they killed it. I had a feeling they were going to smash, but man, did they ever. More than I could have ever imagined. So good to see the team come together, at least on the course. We got a little Bryson Brooks thing coming up. It's going to be very much a spectacle, but it'll still be fun to see him go on the course.
Oh, a spectacle.
And then also, 25 years ago today, Mr. Tiger Woods won his first PGA Tour event at this event in Las Vegas. Nice. It wasn't called the Shriners then, but it was the Las Vegas Invitational. So, shout out to the GOAT, man. 25 years ago, this golf course where I've actually played.
Nice.
Love it.
So I'll give you a little insider tips here where I can.
All right. Well, you've been there. Can you tell us about the course and what to expect this week?
Absolutely. It is a beautiful western kind of adjacent to mountains type course. You've got a lot of native area. You'll start seeing that more on the PGA Tour shot link if you're a total obsessive degenerate like myself and you're watching hole by hole, shot by shot data for your players in your player pool. So it's a just under 7,300 yard par 71. So we have 3 par 5s. The course, I don't think even plays that long. The ball really flies a long way out there and the fairways tend to be firm. So you're going to see a lot of wedges into greens. You got several par 4s that are at kind of mid 400s up to 500 range. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of driver wedges. Par 3s have a little bit of teeth in the 200 to 240 range. And then you've got a couple par fives that are very reachable. One that number 13 over 600 yards is probably reachable by maybe half the field. So it's going to be an interesting event to watch, but you definitely you got to expect scores to be super low, which is why we've picked some of the stat categories we have. Winning score the last few years has been right around like 21 to 25 under. And there's a certain guy who's kind of showing up as a specialist here based on some of the stat categories, which we'll talk about. But yeah, going to be a shootout for sure. They're in Vegas, so a little bit of narrative street. You get some of the younger guys that maybe like to go out and party a little bit. Maybe you don't want to roster them quite as heavily. So,
oh yeah, we have cashed a few bets on that, haven't we, Adam? Where we fade the people who party in certain places.
Yeah, like strokes lost, nightlife, or whatever that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great stat. We should add that. So, Al, anything to add here on the course?
No, nothing at all. I mean, they are staying there an extra week for the CJ Cup, so hopefully some guys hold off until Monday, Tuesday to party, and actually play some golf over the weekend.
That sounds dangerous.
I know, seriously.
Dangerous. So I asked you guys, by the way, I asked you guys independently to give me your stats for the model, and I combined both of your answers. So this is a super model, if I don't say so myself. I'm pretty excited to put it to the test.
The Kate Upton of models, if you will.
That's right. I dig it. So I lost my tab. Where'd my tab go? There's my tab. All right, guys. Well, let's break into it, shall we? Let me see if I can share my spot. Maybe. This is great live show. It's okay. Nobody watches. It's totally fine.
Yes, they do.
Who does?
Everybody.
Anybody.
Entire screen? I don't know. Why is this being all mean to me? I don't know what's happening here. No. Share this.
It's just
hey, there's the model. There's the supermodel.
Riveting.
The supermodel.
Oh,
I gotta get rid of our thing here.
She's beautiful.
Now. So there it is, man. That's the supermodel right there. What do you think of that? I don't know if you can see that, Adam. It's kind of big, but Brooks Koepka comes out number 1. Paul Casey. Corey Connors, my man Charlie Hoffman, flop lag from last week. I'm ready to strike it again.
There it is.
Yep. Then all the 10K guys right in a row there, and then a couple guys there. Another Cameron. I always love the Camerons. So interesting list. We won't linger there too long. But what do you think of that, Al?
It looks good. That's very close with what I have. So that's a good list of players right there. Charlie Hoffman is not in my player pool list, so I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about him.
Well, I mean, clearly I'm going to play him 100%, as I did last week.
Oh, man, that was a mistake.
It's never a mistake to 100% Charlie Hoffman. Never a mistake.
He was in my lineup last. I made one lineup. I put it in one contest, and so I was cool.
I had 4 out of 6 miss the cut. So,
oh my goodness,
we won't talk about
it was 3 out of 6 for me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Seamus and Cam Davis destroyed me last week.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's talk about those guys at the top. Let me, I know I've got I don't know why it's acting up on me. It's acting up on me. So we'll just play out of the model, I guess. How's that?
We also just give a quick shout out to Sam Burns for just totally coming into his own and being a dominant force out on the tour. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, man.
He's going to be years to come.
Well, 16th in the model at over 10K. I don't know if I can get behind him this week.
16th ain't bad. He's riding high, man. The strokes gained momentum or whatever.
All right. Well, let's talk about it, guys. We got Brooks Koepka up number 1 in salary, number 1 in this particular model. Is that justified, Al?
I know. I mean, yes, he should be the highest price golfer on the slate because it's Brooks Koepka, but it's really hard for me to get on board with the highest price guy any week. Obviously Sam Burns made it happen last week if you rostered him. But Brooks Koepka is, he's 4th in my model as well. He's great in DraftKings points. I feel like he's going to struggle on the greens early in the season. And he played well at the Ryder Cup, but I mean, he wasn't the highlight by any means. Brooks is never really on my radar unless it's big tournaments. I love him for players and majors. Every once in a while, he'll pop at a smaller tournament, but even last year he won at the Waste Management. That would have been a smaller tournament. But outside of that, he doesn't really show up at these events, especially for being the highest priced golfer on the slate. what are your thoughts on that, Adam? I haven't got a good read on Brooks right now, if I'm being honest.
The guy that I'm really interested in, I'm a Brooks slappy, Brooks truther, whatever you want to say. Fanboy is probably more like it. But the guy that I like up here in the top range is definitely Webb. I think he's the safest play. He's got plenty of upside. You could probably argue that maybe Answer has a better chance to win, but I like his skill set. 4 straight top 20s here. Hard to say with his recent form because we haven't seen a lot of events recently, but Webb to me is the guy up above 10K that's just hard to fade. Victor I like, but he just coming off the Ryder Cup, I think it's going to be a bit of a letdown, and also his short game just hasn't really been there. It's kind of been exposed, and if he misses a green, you just worry that he's not gonna get up and down. So at a birdie fest is a little worrisome. I like playing him more at tougher courses where the greens aren't as easy to hit.
Hey, does this switch when I switch tabs?
Yes.
Okay, that's good and bad. It's good once we start putting some checks on people, and then we'll go look at percentages. How's that? So so this 10K range for me, I mean, honestly, I usually try to fade it. I try to build my lineups without it. I'm kind of interested in Abe Answer here. I feel like he'll probably be lower owned of this group. So I think we'll check it later, but that's probably my ownership fade. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he's higher owned than I think.
Yeah, Abe's my favorite play at 10-4, but I will tell you he'll be top 3 in ownership this week. People love Abe, and it's because he's just such a consistent player. He's going to keep the ball in the fairway. And on a course that's considered longer, like Adam said, in Vegas, the ball just it flies farther. And he's taken 4th year out of the past 4 years twice. So he's missed the cut twice and took 4th twice. So, I mean, he's got good course history, so it apparently fits his eye, and he's gained over 15 strokes putting on these greens in the 2 tournaments that he took 4th. So,
all right,
he has an affinity for the greens.
So he's going to be high owned. All right, I'm just looking at it. The names that are around him. He hasn't been in the field we've really talked about a ton lately. So I just thought maybe he'd go under owned, but we'll check that. I think we have to have like 7 or 8 or 9 favorite plays checked before we can pull those numbers, but we'll get there. So let's move down to that 9K range. I mean, the model kind of dismisses that range. It's got a little love for Scotty Scheffler in Sungjae and Siwoo, but kind of dismisses the rest of this range. Are you in line with the model, Adam? Do you kind of dismiss this range?
I want to love Scotty Scheffler. I just don't know if he's still kind of riding the post Ryder Cup party right now. But yeah,
and this worries me. It worries me a little bit where he's at in these good drives and putting too.
As far as the way the games line up, that this just doesn't feel like an event that he'll have an easy time getting up for after the Ryder Cup, and he's due for he's going to win at least once, probably multiple times in the next calendar year. It's just a matter of timing it. It's tough to jump on. So overall, I'm kind of with you. Other than Scotty, even Louis, I'm probably fading this range. A lot of young guys, a lot of partiers here,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fading that 9K range as well. I'm going to drop straight down to the high 8K. And I mean, I love Corey Connors at 8,800. Coco, if you will. Danger.
I will.
Oh, we will. We will Coco.
We Coco.
Yeah.
We Coco often.
I mean, Coco is just what he did last week is he had 17th Sanderson Farms. He gained strokes in all of the 6 major stat categories. Not a single red box next to his name. But as always, he was exactly at 0 for putting. He didn't gain a stroke. He didn't lose a stroke. That's where he struggles. One of these weeks, we're going to find him where he gains 2 to 3 strokes on the greens, and that's when you're going to get a top 5, or eventually Corey Connors is going to get that W. I love Corey Connors at 88. I think that's a great discount for him, especially being around Casey and Reed. He's going to be sandwiched in between 2 more well-known names. It's just going to keep his ownership right where I want it, probably around 15% or so.
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, that I love Coco, always do when I can play him. Paul Casey is one of those guys that, ownership's usually very high, but it's because he's steady. He makes the cuts. So, cash game build, you got to slap Paul Casey in there at 8,900.
Yeah, up top, definitely love Coco at 88. I mean, Kokorak is the certain. He's a big drinker though. Like it's a known fact that guy loves to
2 pounds of
down. Like a couple people told me he almost drank a couple bars dry when he was in Detroit for the Rocket Mortgage. So Vegas probably won't be better in that regard. So I'm probably going away from him. And again, same thing with Casey. I just don't love a lot of the guys coming off the Ryder Cup, kind of getting their season. They're in the wind down stage. They're not geared up for this. I like the guys that are a little bit more on the rise and more motivated to come out here and smash this week. Like Corey, who's still looking for that elusive first win, and Charlie Hoffman, who's looking for that next win. It's been a long time for Charlie.
Well, the problem really began when he cut his glorious mane off.
What do you think? Oh man, it's true.
Cut off or just fell out. I don't know what the real answer is.
To find his new identity. He didn't have the mane anymore, and you have a mullet for so long, and then you just don't.
Right.
You lose yourself a little bit. So he's finding it again, and I think he's more clean cut Charlie now, and he's ready to pounce. But
second week in a row that we have a top 10 model ranking for Cameron Tringali, and of course he did quite well last week. So I think I got to stay on him while he's hot. I got to have a Cam.
Gotta have a Cam. He's been in all my first builds. What do you think about Cam, Coach Al?
I love it. Tringali he's one of the, I hate to say safer in golf, but he is one of the safer plays in that 8K range. I mean, right now I think he has 9 straight cuts made with 6 top 30s, but he does not have a top 10 in those 9 straight. So at 8,500, you're looking for the upside. But, the safety of making sure that, he's going to get through the cut. And I expect probably around 80 to 90 DraftKings points out of him, 8,500. So that's 10x. I mean, I'm on board with it. I like it. I think it's a great play. But what people won't do is they won't play Adam Scott right underneath him. And he's interesting for a GPP standpoint. He played well at the Wyndham, which is, it's another scoring fest. And then he kind of lost it at the Northern Trust. He was starting to come into form, but his season was cut short because he just didn't have enough FedEx Cup points to continue his playoff run. So I think for a GPP standpoint, I would definitely take Scott over Tringali in tournaments.
Yeah, I like that a lot. You get probably more upside with a lot lower ownership this week.
Yeah,
it's a nice pivot for $100 cheaper. I mean, I got 4 guys in this lineup I just built that are in the 8K range, and I don't feel bad about it. Like Joaquin Niemann, I know he hasn't played great recently, but
I was just about to say something about Niemann. Is every time he pops in my model, he's that guy that just disappoints every time he's at the top of my model. Like top 12 is okay, but like every time he's been like top 10, and I'm like, yes, it's Niemann time, and then.
Yeah, but you got to look at his upside here. If he was playing, reasonably well coming in, he'd be up here in this Matsuyama, Harris English, Sung Jae range, like low. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't bat an eye. He's on at 8,300, man. That's a great value. Ton of upside right there for a tourney play. I wouldn't play him in a double up lineup or a cash game.
Sure,
but I like him in GPP.
I mean, you can pretty much fill out 5 guys right here in the 8K range.
Yeah. I mean, when you're looking at it too, like if you go to just tournament history and look at Niemann, he has a 13th and a 10th here, but right underneath him, Matthew Wolff, who played well last week, has a 2nd and an 18th. So I feel like Niemann could just go under own based off everybody's going to pivot to Wolff. That's just, it's a simple play. Like Wolff has higher upside, but I feel like Niemann has just as good of a top 5 chance as Wolff this week.
Well, I can tell you, Johnny Danger will never have a 46th model ranked player in his lineup.
Is that Wolff?
Yep.
Wolff doesn't pop in any
model. To the model.
Yeah, right. I feel like he didn't pop anywhere. He just plays good. He just scores points is what he does.
All right, now that we've gone from Casey down to Charlie Hoffman, we've covered the entire 8K range, so we can move right down to 7K. And let's see, what do we got there? We got a little Kevin Streels. I like Streels. We got Gooch popping up in the model a little bit at 18. Adam,
we got a little Gooch popping.
A little Gooch, 18 in the model, 7,600.
Wow, that's not surprising. He's had some pretty solid ball striking weeks, but not a guy that I was on yet. But I do like up at the top. I like Aaron Wise a lot. Mm-hmm. And then McNeely, man, what is he doing? below 8K in this field. It's not a weak field for this event. It's probably the best they've had in a long time.
Mhm.
But it's Matt McNeely, man. He almost won a few weeks ago. He's ready to break through. Why is he so cheap? Where is he in the model? Why isn't he in our lineups?
He's 81st in the model.
Well, that's one reason to fade him, but talent relative to price, I still like him.
But when I run this model, it is 50 rounds.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah. So, I mean, his last three is 27th, 63rd, and 2nd at the Fortinet. And that's what what Adam's talking about is his past win. And in that, he gained strokes. He's got green boxes everywhere. 2.1 on approach, 4.3 on putting, 3.4 around the green. His tee to green was 9.4. Like, he just played an excellent 4 rounds of golf that week.
Nice.
So if he brings that form in, I love that play because everybody's playing Mito this week. I mean, he's going to be the highest owned.
All right, Coach White. Look, my love for you is enough to put a star on a guy at 81st in the model.
There it is, man. Love it.
Your college football has been so spot on that I'm going to trust you with Mav McNeely, especially because both of you like him. So he's in. He's in. At 81st in the model, it's breaking my rules.
Why are you in? Mav? I like Mav.
81st in the model, man. I can't play that.
You
just put him in. Now you're going to kill it. Now he's going to kill his chances by putting the lineup.
No, he's in. He's in now. He's in. Let's talk about Emilio Grillo at number 11 in the model. Why? And is that fraudulent?
It normally is. I mean, he pops in every model because he's great. Anytime you put ball striking in a model, he's going to be top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's putting next to it, what is his putting rank? Like 100th,
85th,
85th. Exactly. Like he's going to put the ball within 15 feet of the hole. It's just he can't make the putts that count. And on a course where you need to get 25 birdies, you can't count on Grillo to do that. No, it's a no. It's a hard no. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for you, dog. We glassed over Taylor Gooch though. Do I click it at him? Do I click it?
I'm not feeling the Gooch this week. There's a couple guys that, fresh off the Corn Ferry Tour that I like a little bit more in the 7K range, to be honest with you.
I'm clicking it anyways, and I'm going to put a first-round leader bet on him.
What do you think? You said Gooch sometimes. You just have to put him in your lineup now.
I know, right? I don't like it. All right. Seamus Power is starting to get on the dead to me list.
Really? Seamus can be streaky. You got to be careful when you play that guy. But when he's hot, he's hot. He's like the less turbocharged version of what were we talking about, Joaquin Neiman?
Yeah. Yep. All right. What else we got in this lower end of the 7K range, guys? Al, what do you like down here?
Low 7K range. Pat Perez is interesting. He just has good tournament history here, and with an old guy like that, they like certain courses, man. I mean, it's just I don't know what it is, but he plays better in Vegas than anywhere else. He even plays well at the CJ Cup when he's had a chance. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just the air that Pat Perez likes in Vegas. So I like Pat Perez. Outside of that,
Stewie, 22nd in the model.
So we always talk about like these bounce back spots, and I know we have to have a Cam in your lineup.
That's right.
Davis is not necessarily super interesting, nor will he pop on your models, but
he's 29. That's not bad for 7,300.
Yeah, but last week he lost strokes in every category. He was not good at golf. And I don't want to be the person that tries to go back to a guy that's just in one of those streaks. And I think, to Adam's point, Seamus is in one of those streaks where he's going to miss 3 or 4 cuts in a row before he gets a 50th and then a 37th, and then he'll be back to the top 10s. It takes a minute for these guys to get going.
Mm-hmm. Al, there's still one more Cam in the field, though. Look at this at 7,000.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Davis or Cameron?
No, Cameron Young. Yeah, he's number 30 in the model at 7 flat. That ain't bad at all.
Well, he took second last week, and I personally hadn't heard about him, but I'm assuming he was a Corn Ferry Tour guy that just got his card and made the most of it. Super impressive. But before we move on, Luke List is interesting at 72. He's been playing actually pretty consistent golf here, which is weird to say with Luke List's name.
Al, I forgot to tell you that you can't mention Luke List around Adam. It's kind of like his it's his addiction.
Not a fan.
No, it's his addiction. You can't get him going.
Hey, I mean, you know, he took 4th at John Deere, which is a birdie fest, 5th at the Barbasol birdie fest. He
He shot
took
65 last Sunday too.
he just took 17 Sanderson. Like, he's playing good golf right now, and at 7,200, I love Luke List this week. I think it's a great play.
Don't know if I'm strong enough yet. I really don't.
Would you play Perez over Luke List? Let's play that.
Perez loves to drink too. I feel like he and Kokrak are going to hit a bar and just.
Well, Kokrak, you said he was drinking at Rocket Mortgage. He took 12th that week, so maybe drinking works
That's
for
true.
him.
He was in his zone at that point in the season, though. No, the guys that I do like.
Joel Diamond.
All freaking choked up with the Luke List talk. No, Taylor Taylor Moore is a guy that I like a lot. I played him last week at the Sanderson, and he's kind of trending, man. He had a good finish to the event, finished top 20, and he was a very good Corn Ferry Tour player. So I think the course fit, you're not going to have him in strokes gained because he's so new to the PGA Tour, but I think the course fit is there for Taylor Moore. And I also like, did you say Dahmen? Danger.
Dahmen.
Did you say Dahmen?
I did.
I do like Joel this week. I just can't quit the man.
I mean, he's just one of those guys that, you know, we've hit a few times over the last few years that if his putter just lines up, he can put together a top 15 run. And at 7,100, a top 15 run would be very nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. I mean, last week he started on Thursday, 4 straight birdies. You're like, okay, here's the down week. And he gained 4.5 strokes with his putter, but he couldn't strike the ball all 4 rounds, which is just so unlikely. So if we think his irons are good this week and he keeps that putter rolling, I think it could be the down week. That's a great call.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, guys, we're running a little long on time, so let's get into our deep value looks. Let's just kind of flip through the model here. Matthew Naismith popping up at 19. I always love throwing a unit on Matthew Naismith, first round leader.
Yeah, how's that working for you?
It's cashed a few times.
Has it?
Yeah.
At least
All
one.
right.
Hit him in the spring on Naismith for a first round leader. So he's popping in the model. Who else is popping in the 6K?
19 in the model at 6,700. Kind of.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. There's a guy just below him that I like a ton that I played last week and had a great finish. Trey Mullinax, 66, probably isn't popping in the model, but he's one of those guys that's kind of hot and cold as well. And when he gets going, you kind of want to ride him.
He's a great par 5 player.
Yes.
He just birdie after birdie, but that was a par 72, and this is par 71. So I try to play Mullinax on those 72s, but 71s I feel like he just. But there are some drivable par 4s. I think there's 1 or 2. Well, maybe not drivable, but very very short irons. Like there's some 350, 375 type par 4. I don't know how his wedges are, but probably not great.
40, a 3.8. I mean, he's just a guy that I like to play when he's in form, and he's getting a second chance on tour. He had his card several years back, and now he's getting it again after working his way back up through the Corn Ferry ranks. So,
you know what happens. You know what happens, Adam?
What's that?
Is when we got a 28 rank guy at 6,600 and Brendan Steele. Who do I got to pair him up with?
Steele and somebody else with
Steels and
Streels,
baby.
Steele and Streel. Nice.
Steels and Streels.
Didn't we say like Steelers wheels, Streelers steel or something? We had
man.
Yeah.
Remember that time I played Steels and Streels and Kuchar and Gooch? Gooch, Steele, Streel. Who else did I play? That was a funny one.
You could do it this week. Cooch is in the field this week.
I could, but he's kind of dead to me. So, but yeah, man, Trey Mullinax and Steele are the same price. Steele ranks out a little bit better than Mullinax. He ranks really well in that proximity 200 plus stat, like really well, top 7, top 18, and he's 18th in the par 4, 400 to 500 or 400 and 450 range too. He just pops in a couple of places that's kind of nice to see for 6,600.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anybody else you're liking down here?
I mean, for me, the last guy the model likes way deep in this field is Mr. Tom Hoagie.
Hollywood Hoagie. I don't hate it. I mean, there's a guy that I threw out on a previous pod with Coach Al as well.
Sam Ryder.
Sam Ryder, man. Strokes gained.
Yeah, baby.
Are you starting to see the light on the Sam Ryder love here?
Oh, I wrote him up in back-to-back weeks. He's in the article. So yeah, I love Ryder. And last week, people don't realize he's got a 56th, but he took 28th in DraftKings points. And now he's 6,300. Like, he had 3 rounds with the birdie streak bonus, and I mean, he's getting birdies in bunches. So I love Sam Ryder on DraftKings this week.
Yeah, he's like Matthew Wolff light, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Wolff finished 32nd, and you're like, how did he finish top 15 in DK points? The guy just makes, like you said, birdies in bunches, and then that could get your 3 birdies in a row streak going.
Yeah, so I mean, not only that, but this tournament, he has a 3rd place finish. Like, he likes this course, so I think Sam Ryder's a smash play at 63.
And it's really difficult to put into words or to quantify how much confidence it gives you to go to the brink like he did on the PGA Tour last year of losing his card and then finishing 3rd at the Barbasol, 25th, 34th. Like, he was hanging by a thread, and then he came through and absolutely came in the clutch and kept his card. So I think he's just going to be playing with house, feeling like he's playing with house money. And they're in Vegas, so, you got to go with it. You got to go with it.
Hey, remember at the beginning of the show when I was like, I like Abe Answer because he's probably going to be less owned than these guys at the top.
He's not.
Yeah, he's tied for the top with Mito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to your Hoagie point, I do like Hoagie. I think his irons, like, he's like a first-round leader bet as well. I love Hoagie first-round leader. And then everybody I feel like is going to be on Hank Lebiota. Any love for him this week, Adam? I know he had a really good stretch of golf, and that was at the John Deere Rocket Mortgage Travelers. He had 3 top 9 finishes.
I don't.
Missed 3 straight cuts. So what do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't have faith in him bouncing back. One guy that I do like, you mentioned Pat Perez too. He lives in the desert. He likes it out in this type of climate. He's used to playing and practicing all the time on these conditions. Another guy like that is Scott Piercy. I believe he actually lives in Vegas, and when he's on, man, his ball striking is fantastic. So decent bet there for first round leader too. He can get really, really hot with the iron play, but his putting is going to be up and down. So much like Corey Connors, if you get a good round out of him in round 1, he could be first round leader, and then he's going to make the cut. He's going to get the points you need out of him at his price. He's sitting there at 67, so certainly worth looking at. And then a Corn Ferry guy that I like a lot this week, down here under 7K, is Chad Ramey, 6,800.
All right. Fair enough, guys. I really appreciate you helping me break down this field and break down that model. I don't normally show the model the whole time, but for some reason I couldn't get the DraftKings thing to come up. So I apologize to Pat Mayo and the crew over at Fantasy National for giving away all of their secrets for a brief moment. Please don't sue us. Appreciate you. Everybody go use their sites. Wonderful, wonderful golf analysis tools to be able to break down all those shot gain reports. So, hopefully you'll forgive me because we'll send some followers to you. How about that? All right. Speaking of bets, have you put together any thoughts for your favorite couple of bets, Al?
Ooh,
I know it's Wednesday night, but we don't always talk bets. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah, no, I don't have bets, and I mean it's just because I live in North Carolina and you can't legally bet on golf.
Right.
So I just stick to DFS. I'm sorry, man.
I dig it. All right, no worries, guys. Well, I appreciate you, and I did see you put an article out, right, at drroto.com?
I did.
I'm pretty sure that's free content right now. I apologize if it's not. If it's not, hey, pick one of our memberships. Check out all the stuff that we do, and you'll be happy with it. We've got basketball content already loading up on the site. Have you seen that?
I haven't yet. I didn't know that.
Preseason basketball stuff is up there. The hockey crew is getting ready to gear up for the hockey season. So you name it, we've got everything. Chris Emmerich, by the way, not only has been murdering in football this year, he puts an entire MMA breakdown of every DK MMA slate in the Discord, just for the record. So it's really good. I've been winning with it, and it's awesome. So let's get out of here, guys. I really appreciate y'all. Make sure you're all going over to drroto.com and signing up for our services. I am Johnny Danger, and with me, as always, Coach White and Adam White. No relation, I promise. We'll have a good night. See you later.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.